So I would like to say to all the friends listening this is yours.
Hello, Piyush. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are
Hello.
audible.
Yeah,
Yes,
good.
yes, you are audible.
So, good evening, everyone. Hello there. So, let me share my screen first. Yeah. I guess it is visible, right, Piyush?
Yes, yes, Dada, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you for having me here for placement talk. So, let me introduce first myself. I am Pranav Tak. I am final year engineering student at WC, as you all of know. I am a proud Elisite. I am with Elisa for 4 years now. So, without further ado, let me share first my my interview experience with you. So, basically, when the Veritas technology, I will start with Veritas. So, Veritas was the day zero company at our campus. So, basically, as like all you guys, I was also not aware about the companies and how to proceed forward, and in short, how to do all the placement activity. So I obviously approached to my senior. I go to Mahadev Da. He is one of the former Elisite. So he told me about everything, how to proceed when a company comes to campus, and his points were very helpful for me. So like that, I will share my points with you. Okay. So Veritas was the first company. It come to our campus in July, somewhere in July in 2020. So, as you know, the pandemic was there also last year. So we were all at home, and I was not having good start at the technical things for such companies. So I approached with a couple of things. So first, I start with the C++ and data structure, all the language parts. So I do that first. Then I move forward towards the technology. I do couple of courses on the cloud, so that were helpful for me in the interview process and all. Okay, so when the company comes, the first round was obviously the apti round. The apti questions were from one of the platforms. I don't remember. Maybe it was HackerRank. So the questions were pretty simple. The apti questions were from simple to middle level. They were all, if you have solved or if you have a look at the CAT exam questions, they are pretty much at the level of the CAT exams, considering the quants. And verbal and logical questions were pretty easy. So, as I was preparing for CAT at that time, it was easy for me about the apti round. With apti, in parallel with the apti, in the first round, there were the questions about the C++, and data structure. So there were pretty much simple questions, I would say. The part that could be difficult is the scenario based questions from the data structure. So it is one of the part where you can also excel, I would say. So first round results were there. I was qualified for the first round. The second was the technical round. So again, it was my first interview experience. So uh, I just brush up all my technical knowledge for the electronics background, as well as the C languages and the Python basically. So when the technical round started, the guy was a technical expert from the industry. So his argument was like, you are from electronics from last 3 years. So it is like I must ask you the question from electronics only, because the argument goes like if you don't know from electronics that you are learning from 3 years, how can you do something new from our company in our company? So I find that's reasonable. So he asked me questions basically from the digital electronics, power electronics, and simple semiconductor, PN junction diodes, and all that questions. So that was pretty easy, I would say. The questions were more of I would say uh, scenario type, the based on the flip flops and counters and all that. This was one of the first part of the interview. Secondly, he asked me about any projects, technical project that you have done. So before the pandemic, like in January, only we have done the technical project of ourselves. You might know the solar tree was the project. So I know pretty much everything about that. So I started to explain him very well about that. So I think that was one of the plus points for me, because whenever you do your project and you get to you explain it in very easy language, and that's what the interviewer likes. Like he don't want you to explain all the technical terms and other things, but he just wants that how much you understand the project and how you part in a group building activity. That's all he wants to know. So that goes in favor of me. After the technical round, there was the managerial round. The managerial round was a bit tricky, because it consists the questions from logical, of course, how to tackle one of the problems in the industry, which is the current. So there were questions that needs time to think and give your own argument. So that went somewhere, I would say, okay, not great, not low. So in that specifically, he asked me about the C, C++, and data structure applications. In that, he asked me about the OOPS concept. So basically, in OOPS concept, I remember the problem statement. It was like how can you use the classes in C, or how can you use the classes in the C++, and build a system with which you can have the management of all parking area in a mall. So at first, I don't actually get. So I asked him to tell again. So he explained me in bit easy manner, and then I tried to give my arguments on how different classes and how inheritance we can use in that. So he likes that. I won't say it was accurate, but I tried to make it innovative. That's what I think he likes. So that was managerial round. After that, the HR round. HR is just a treat. You can have idea if your name, I won't say name, but if you got your HR in first 5 to 6 students, then pretty much you are there. Like 90% you are done with your things, and HR is just and things that you just have to proceed. So with HR, there were no specific questions. He just asked me about the relocation and timing shifts and general questions. The trick for the HR interview is, I would say, you have to write it down, all the basics questions for the HR, like introduce yourself, then your hobbies, your achievements, advantage, disadvantages, uh, your plus points, negative points, how can you tackle a specific question, all the general questions. If you try to write it down and have your innovation in that, I think that's more than enough for HR round. It's more of a chit chat, and don't get frustrated in HR, because it's just a process. The more important points are being technical and managerial round. So HR also went well, and after that we got the results in I guess 15 or 20 days. That's for Veritas. Uh, Let me give information about Veritas Technology. It is a product-based company. Its office is in Pune and Bangalore. So basically, it has a different. Uh, it is a leading company in different domains. So one of the domains that I'm working on is the SDS, that is the software defined storage. So basically, Veritas has huge appliances that we call as the servers. Then maintaining validation and all the test case, all the failure analysis, and all the upgradations come in this domain. So I am part of that I want to share. Uh, After that, it was the internship. Let me talk about digital TCS Digital. For your information, like for those who don't know, TCS is one of the leading service-based company in the world, I would say. For that, the pattern is, I guess, fixed for whole the year. So it comes in our college because our college is first tier college. So company comes to our college directly. So we have pretty much high chances as compared with the other Indian students which are from other colleges. So we can have this opportunity for the TCS. As usual, the first round was the apti round. It was in cat style, like there were three sections: logical, quant, and verbal, and you have to solve that questions. Second round was the coding round. You might have given the code vita and all other TCS related exams. It was more or less same. So that was the coding, and interview was yeah. Let me share that experience. In interview, there were no different sections like technical, managerial, or HR. All the guys were in the panel. Uh, Obviously, it was the virtual mode, so all four guys were there, and it started with the technical guy. So before that, I Quora or I just Google all the interview experience of the previous people. So mostly I found was the questions were based on C, C++, then MySQL, operating systems, and if the person has done some technology related work like ML or cloud, then questions were related to that. But surprisingly for me, the questions were not from any of these domains. The questions were from the electronics only. So that makes me a little bit confused, like how it is a IT based company and the guy is asking me questions on the core, that is the electronics. So again, after the end of interview, I asked him. So he also gave me the same argument. Like you have learned electronics for 4 years of your engineering, so it is must, and you must know some the basic knowledge and the intermediate knowledge of your subjects rather than any technology that you will use in future. Because if you don't learn the basic things in electronics in 4 years, then you cannot, or his assumption is you cannot learn fastly, or you cannot build interest in our technologies. So that went well, surprisingly. After that, the managerial and HR were just ordinary. It was not difficult there. So that's about this year's. Yeah. Um, about interview experience, I would say this much. Let me take you to another part. Yeah, as you can see, it's all relative. So, can anyone tell me why I made some slide name it's all relative? Anyone? Are you there, guys? Yeah. Okay. Anyone wants his ideas, argument? Okay, never mind. Okay. So it's all relative, right? Because you are competing with your friends and your class only, your batch of that year. You are not competing with your seniors or your juniors or any other person from other class. So that's why I called it's all relative. And if you dig deep in this, uh, in our let me give you example. In our class there were some guys, I would say only 2 to 3 guys that know Java. So what I find, I don't need to learn Java, because the class don't many of the class, like 95% of the class don't know Java. So why should I waste my time in learning Java, right? You get my point. Rather, what we can do, we can excel in the existing technology that we know. So that's why that's one of the reason I choose Python over the Java and excel in that. Yeah. So because you don't have to do any rocket science or learn anything very differently from your class. You have to learn everything which is basic, as well as the 1 or 2 technologies that are leading in the market, that are most commonly to all companies. That's it. For example, if you are learning cloud, so every company nowadays is adjusting or growing in cloud, because agileness is what all companies are there to find. So I don't think there is any MNC which don't use cloud. So if you have a good knowledge on the cloud rather than any remote technology, then it will be beneficial to you only. That's what my argument was. So in that sense, don't look for any remote technology. That's what I want to convey to you. Just go on with your regulars, do your basics clear, and go and definitely do at least one technology that you can go perfect with it. For example, cloud, or I would say cyber security, or if you are interested in a data science, that is also okay, or anything which is currently in the market that will be beneficial for you. Secondly, if we consider in this idea, the project work, it's also most important, right? If you have good project in your academics, it will be a very good point, or it can be one of the best point for your interviews. Because everything, if you have good point, if you have good project, and if you can express the project in very well manner, then all the interview will roam around that project only. This is the first thing. And secondly, you know, all the you can put some loopholes in your project idea, where interviewer will definitely go, and you can definitely have answer for that question. So it will create a positive impact on the interviewer. So that's a very important point, because this is like this has happened, because there were many good projects in our batch, and most of the guys get their job or get their placements based on their project only. If you have good projects, and at the same time if you can explain that project in very simple manner and effective way, then it is a huge boom for you. That one thing I would like to share. Further, if you think, yeah, let me guide you to the aptitude development. So I just heard that the third year guys are having aptitude classes from next week. Is it right? Put it in chat box. Let me know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So as I mentioned, like all the companies have the first round as the apti. So you must know your aptitude well, because the not only in because if you can score the good marks in aptitude, if you score more than average, or if you can score at the highest, then it will dominate on your other qualities. Like for example, if a person is very much good in aptitude, and he know average C or average technology the company is looking for, then there are pretty much high chances of getting that person place in that company, rather than a person which is having all the three things at the average. So you are getting that point, right? So let me give you some tips for increasing your aptitude. So basically what I used to do is, I used to go through all the CAT questions. So that's most important. uh, You can also go through the CAT questions that are readily available on the internet. You can search the section, and in after that you can just put on the Google CAT questions for this section. So you will get good quality questions from the internet, because the questions on our exam are slightly less trickier as of the CAT. So if you do the questions at the CAT level, it will be very much easy for you to crack that round. That's what I want to say. And don't go for a wide range of questions. Just focus on the most important points. So for quant, the important points are related to the percentage, wages, and the time work and all that. For the logical reasoning, there are variety of the questions, but in our exams for placements, they won't have some questions like one paragraph of information and 2 to 3 questions. Rather, they will have the simple questions, for example, from the time, the calendars, and that kind of questions. So have a look on that kind of questions also. And from verbal, just for verbal, there is you cannot do much, but what you can do, you can read out the newspapers and go through the specific kind of questions from the internet. Because if you have good confidence on your verbal skills, then no need to do anything else in that section. Mm, just go for reading newspaper and all that things. You guys know. Yeah, that's about apti. One more thing is there. Yeah, I think this is one of the most important things that I can explain. So how to have a good resume? Yeah. So to have resume, the most important thing of the resume is it should be simple, because the HR person is when he started to go through a resume, he should not find it a bit complicated, because the thing should be in a chronological order. For example, you can start with your marks from your college. You can actually create the sections where in first section you can have the marks, for example, related to your college, uh, 11, 12, or 10th, whatever it may be. Then after that you can have your skills or your plus points in resume, then your project work, and after that, like what I'm trying to say is you can have the different sections, because when HR go through your interview, it should not be complicated if you have the sections. So if you create some such sections, it will be a good thing. And yeah, because there are companies which can shortlist you based on your resume. One more thing, in resume, when you are putting your project, just don't put the name of your project only. You can explain your project in 2 to 3 lines, one thing, and you can put the technologies that you use in your project, because that's more important. Uh, if you have any questions, we will discuss in Q&A about resume and all. Let me check. Yeah. So that's what I want to discuss with you. So I guess we can start with the Q&A, if it is planned. So shall we start with Q&A?
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
Okay, so should I start with the questions?
yeah, you can.
Hello.
Yes, Mir, you can start.
Okay, so there are some questions from the participants. So the first one is importance of internships, projects, and especially extracurricular activities in the selection process of internship as well as placement.
Yeah. So first thing first, internship. Yeah. Internship plays a very vital role in placements. if you have done any summer internship from third year or any kind of internship, it will be a plus point for you, because the companies won't uh, have to invest more in you to take you through all the steps which are necessary in the corporate world. So if you have some kind of internship experience, that will be a very good point for you. Secondly, about the what was second? I just forgot. Can you repeat?
Project and extracurricular activities.
Yeah. So, like I have mentioned, projects also plays a vital role in your interview process. As I mentioned already, many student gets placed only because of their great projects. So, if doing project is one thing, but explaining the project in most simply manner is, I think, the point with the more weightage. You can do simple projects, but if you can explain that project in very well manner, and you can answer the questions related to that project, so it will be a good point for you. That's what I would say. uh, about the projects, I would say that you can go with one technical project and one non-technical project, because if you can do a technical project, that will be good for the core companies that you are opting for. And the different projects on IT backgrounds, you can also do uh, that as well. That will be also helpful for you. And after that, the speaking skill, I would say uh, the speaking skills are also very important. If you have good English proficiency, it will be good. It can make a good expression uh, on the interviewer. For example, if there are two persons having same technical knowledge, all the projects and all, but one is good with English and another is not, then HR is likely to go with the person who is having good English proficiency, because in corporate world, not only the technology matters, but also speaking with the group, having group bonding, group discussions, and our team member is one of the most important thing that I would say. So yeah, all the 3 points are important. Yeah, Mir.
Mir is, I think, due to some issue. So the next question is, means extending the first question. Like, so what are the types of projects would like you to suggest us? Means if we have to make a good impression, or like if we have to, okay,
Yeah,
like good projects.
yeah. So for projects, first thing, you can take any technology that you like. So as of specifically for electronics, you can take any domains. For example, from the image processing, the hardware part, or the power electronics, or anything from the digital electronics or embedded system. Any domain is just good. So the couple of things when we do project are like, as I have already mentioned, that the technology matters for a bit time, but after that, what you explain to your interviewers, that's all that matters. Because if you know all the things, but you cannot explain it to the interviewer, so it will be all go in vain, right? So,
Yes, yes.
so explain it to the interviewer is as much as important as having a good project. So that I would say. It is for the technology that we belongs, electronics. Further, what you can do, as I mentioned, you can excel in one of the skill. And if you are putting that skill in your resume, for example, if you are putting machine learning or data science in your resume, what you can do, you can back up that point by taking one small project or any project related to that technology. If you are putting uh, the machine learning in your project in your resume, then in the project part, what you can do, you can have a simple project based on the machine learning, and you can explain that to HR or to all the interviewer as well, because it will be a backup for what you have placed in your resume. So he will get an idea, like you are not putting anything in your resume, and all you are putting is the work that is done by you only. So that is important. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, means it will be beneficial if we have another thing along with all this means, and like slightly we try to explain a new thing, it will benefit. Uh,
Correct. Correct.
okay. Now the next question is means most important, like uh, uh, prioritize means mostly we have software companies, but students who are only trying to have means want to go in core industries. So basically they like they don't want to learn the about software like coding things, because they just focus on core things. So uh, is it necessary that we along with core we must or we do have some knowledge about software, or means about how much level do
Yeah.
we have knowledge?
Yeah. Okay. So let me walk through with our process. So I find there are three type of students. The one which are want to go in the core part, the one which are going for the IT part, and the one who haven't decided. But there can be a large mob which have not clear, like where they want to go to core or IT. So I will explain all three types. The first one is the core, as you mentioned, and let me take the guy who wants to go in a core company should know, should have higher understanding about the electronics if compared with the other two guys. So he want to go to a core company, right? So the different domains in electronics, he should be handy with that, and the basic information about all the electronics domains. After that, yeah, like you mentioned, he whether the guy should learn the software part, so small software part. So I would suggest the person who is going for core should know about C++, and data structure. That's basic, right? Even though if you have the project in, I would say the interest in core, when you go to industry, there is nothing like only core. All the things are integrated, right? So if you have
Yes, yes.
if you have understanding of C++, data structure, or even nowadays Python, it will be beneficial for you only. And all these things are very basic that you have firstly learned in tuitions or classes, and secondly you have gone through the different exams for this, and third you have learned this in your academic. So if you can brush up the basics of C++, data structure, and I would say Python, so it will be a plus point for you only, because again the core companies are expected for you to have basic knowledge in all these domains, and it is evident that the companies that come to our campus for core, they definitely ask you the questions based on these, the C++, data structure, and Python also. If they don't ask, they will have highly there are higher chances that the first part, that is the apti round, they will have questions on these domains. So this is one thing. So for IT guy, the second is that IT guy, so if he is willing to go in IT, so yeah, he can have that part aside. All the he can have higher understanding of all the languages. Secondly, all the different technologies I just mentioned. Along with that, I forgot to mention the SQL, because all the three sections in the interview, that whether it be apti round, first round, the technical and managerial rounds of the interview, there are high chances that person will be asked the questions on the SQL part. Uh, broadly the database, because all the projects, all the companies, and everything uses the database. That's the important domain for IT guys. And thirdly, for the person who is having like who is not sure like whether to go in core or IT, so I would suggest it depends upon the company profile and your interest also. So if the company is paying good and for IT, you can opt for that. Or if the company is paying less and the work profile is very good, you can opt for that also. It depends everything on your self. So for the third guy, having knowledge of all the parts mentioned in about to is very important. Not explicitly having the highest knowledge, but having knowledge of all the variety of subjects is well appreciated, and that will be useful for him only. Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is related to the answer which you gave that about machine learning. So, is it really worth regarding the placement scenario, or what is your overall opinion about the machine learning?
Yeah. So to be frank, the companies that come to our selection, like for our campus, they won't ask you directly highest level of questions based on machine learning. But if you have good knowledge of machine learning, you can opt for the offline campus drives. So there is actually boom in market about these data science courses, as well as the data science companies that are willing to pay you good amount. So if you investigate about it for off-campus drives and all that, you will get more and more knowledge. But if we restrict ourselves to our campus only, so that is not mandatory to learn machine learning. That's what I can say.
Okay, so the next question is if we want to go to the IT company, then do we have to need only the knowledge of coding or the core topics of computer science like database, server, operating systems?
Yeah, that's a nice question. First thing is mandatory part is the coding languages. That should be and must be done. The second point, let me walk through the prioritizing. First part is the languages. Second part that you should know is the database, the MySQL or any SQL that you know of. That is one of the thing you should know if you are opting for a good IT company. And because the company, the interviewer will definitely ask you questions related with the database. So that's number two. And third thing is operating system. If the company is very good and they are having the work related to the this part, they if they are doing their work on the operating systems or the component level designing, they will ask you the questions depending upon the operating questions and all. But in general, you should know the coding language is good and the data structure part. The rest all depends upon the company that you are opting for. Yeah.
Okay, so the last question is importance of pointer, that is CPI, in overall process.
Yeah. So it's what I find it is all random according to me. Uh, First thing is okay, I can put it like this: if you have good CPI, it will be definitely a good point for your placement, because the company that is coming around don't know about your skills. Or if you have put your skills on the resume, they can't validate that that they can't validate your skills. But what they can check or what they can validate is your score. If a person is claiming that he have good skills in this part, for example, let's just say cloud, and if there are two person which are claiming I have good knowledge in cloud, A and B, and there is a significant difference in their CPI, then there are high chances that company will pick the person who is having high CPI, and it is obvious, right? Yeah. Again, the second part is it's all random. If again the interview likes the person with the low CPI, he can also be chosen over the person with higher CPI. That had happened actually. A person with a low CPI having good knowledge of a topic, or I would say have had good interview, is got selected over the person who have high CPI with respect to that person. So, to put in a nutshell, I would say yes, it will impact a little if there is conflict between 2 to 3 peoples. That's all. But in a long run, it won't affect. It will happen. It can rarely happen with you to 1 or 2 companies, but there are many companies, like 30 to 40 companies. So if you are good with your skills, that will definitely a good or plus point over your CPI. That's what I can say.
Okay, so that's all the questions that we have received from the Google form link. So if any participant wish to ask any questions, they can put it in the chat box or they can unmute and ask the question.
Uh, okay. So now, as a third year students, in July or within few months, we are going to face this placement activity. So these 3 to 4 months are crucial for us. Like we have to study from the means topics from second year. So what are key preparation for this time, or how you would suggest to prepare uh, for the placement activity in this 2 3 months, which are very crucial to especially third year students.
Yeah. So let me give you a brief plan of action. So from next week, you are having your FT started at the college, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what you can do, first thing, you continuously do FT from this point till the 1 week, or till you can say like definitely this company is coming on this date. So till that point you can do FT, your FT study. That is the first point. Secondly, what you can do is having the you can brush up all your knowledge of all the coding languages that you have studied, whether it is with C++, data structure, or that or Python. And third thing is just go for the topics of high interest from electronics. No need to go for the topics which are of less important and redundant in the company. Just go for the topics which are important. So what I find, the topics that I can share with you, the first topic is the digital electronics that I find useful. In digital electronics, from basic till that you also know till the flip flop, counters and registers, you can uh, brush up that part. This is about digital electronics. Then you can also brush up your knowledge of basic electronics. Then third thing, you can go for directly for the power electronics, because power electronics is the one of the most important topic from our electronics syllabus. And in power electronics, no need to go for all in deep concepts. Just go for uh, the topics of high interest again, the SDRs, SCRs, and the inverters and all that, their diagrams and their key characteristics that you can follow. Uh, Third part being the embedded systems and the semiconductor basics that you can do. And again, one of the important part that I forget, it was the project. Uh, you have to master, or I can say you have to do your work in intermediate to higher on that part, which for which you are doing project. For example, you are doing a core projects based on the VLSI, so you should know the answer to all the basic questions as well as the intermediate questions of that particular stream. uh, Again, the type can be different. One can have project on VLSI and one can have on power, so it depends. So you have to have good knowledge of that part. And yeah, that's, I think, most points I cover. Also, if you can do brush up of your digital image processing, that will be also beneficial for you. Yeah. Does that satisfy your question?
Yes, yes, yes. And also, like, would you suggest some like uh, uh, websites or like some resources so that this will also means also become fast. You don't have to go book read a book. You just have to go to website and read it. So, is there any resource or
Yeah.
resources?
For that, what you can do, you can refer first to the Google can refer that part first. It will be helpful for you. Secondly, you can always ask the faculty members what are the important points in that particular syllabus. For example, in let's just say image processing, you can ask faculty or your friends or alumni what are the important points in that particular topic. So they will give you information like this is the list 4 to 5 topics which are important. So you can simply Google search that points, or you can follow the YouTube videos that you can find on the internet, and that will be, I guess, more than enough. And yeah, that's I can say.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, hello, Pranav.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah,
Uh,
Kushal.
yes, you mentioned twice or thrice about power electronics, but from our
Yeah.
academics, power electronics is skipped. So, can you suggest some reference for that, and which are the topics which we should focus on
Yeah.
from power
In
electronics?
Okay. Uh, I forget the name of the book, but you can always refer the book. I will provide on group to you the name of that book. Again, in that book, when you go through the syllabus, there are huge syllabus in power electronics. But what you can do, the basics of 2 to 3 sections. There are different sections in power electronics. First being the SCRs. SCR is SCRs, and then the characteristics of different components used in the power electronics. What you can do, if you have done any project in that field, you can combine all these two topics. If you use one of the components from power electronics, you can you can have more information about that. You can find on internet or from book if you use that product or that component in your project. Otherwise, you can go through the sections in the book, find all the important points. You can ask seniors, or if you go through book, you will find what are the different points. If there are SCRs, the inverters, the rectifiers, and couple of things are there that you need to know. Once you go through book, you will know.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, from chat, let me take which coding languages we need to focus more. Okay, Ranjit. For that, I would say first have basic knowledge of C, C++, and data structure. Again, that is the basics, because you will never know in what company they are giving preference to what coding language or what coding stream. If a company give more emphasis on coding like C and you have done only Python, that will be no use, because you could get eliminated from first round only. That is specific to a company, but uh, you can generalize, like you can start with the C++, and then data structure. When you found more comfortable in these three streams, you can move to another language. If you have time and you like Java, you can go there, or you can go always come to Python, because Python being simple and more generic. Yeah. Does that satisfy your question? Okay. So,
Yes.
yeah. What will be your suggestion to second year student? Yeah. In second year, I would say, Satyam, first thing is just go through your academics, because you will never know what points in academic will come handy in your third year projects and even in your fourth year interviews. So if you have good notes prepared for that topic or that subject, that can be always come in handy with you. And in second year, from second year, you can always start with one of the first thing, like always the the languages, programming languages, and that yeah. And what I should have done, like I also think about that, if I could have start with one of the technology from second year, then till the third year end or in final year, I will be master, or I would say have more knowledge in that technology. So you can start by taking one technology. For example, you can start with cloud, have basic understanding of that part, and then go through the professional courses available on Coursera or Udemy, whichever, or you can consult always with your seniors, and those who have knowledge in that part, you can refer from LinkedIn also. And you can start with one of the technology from second year. That's what my suggestion is. Yeah.
Thank you, Param bhaiya.
Yeah. To answer your question, Om, if you are using these softwares in your project, so for that you must have knowledge for that. For example, if you are showing some simulation to the interviewer about Proteus, and he don't know what Proteus is, then you must give basic understanding to him. And if you fail to do so, that will make a negative impact about that. That's obvious, right? Same with the MATLAB or anything. If you are giving simulation, and because why you have to give simulation, because it will be a good impact on interviewer, like this person has done so much work in that particular topic. So if we select this person, he can have deep understanding on what we are actually working upon. So you should have good knowledge of all the components that we are working upon, whether it be the simple software tools, or whether it should be the simple concepts in our say core, or simple the components that we use in our project. You should know the basic understanding of all these tools if you are using that in your project. Yeah. Does that satisfy your answer question?
Yes.
Okay. So Pranav is asking, second year manner. Actually, I am not getting your question, Pranav. Can you elaborate?
Hello.
Yeah.
Minor courses
Yeah.
really matter in interviews.
No.
It's
Because
also
yeah. Because the interviewer won't ask you specifically like what your minor was or what your major was, because at our time there was no things in our FY about minors or majors. It was just the syllabus and the subjects. So and I also haven't come across anything like this person is having minor and he don't have much knowledge about that, then he got rejected. uh, don't, Such things don't happen actually. And first of all, he won't ask you about your what minor or what major or unless you mention it in your resume. And if you mention it in your resume, you should have better understanding of that course other than the regular ones. That's what I can explain.
Thank you.
Hello, Pranav, one last question.
Yeah.
That we are having VLSI and FPGA, but frankly, many of us we don't have a good command on FPGA and VLSI, and specifically analog VLSI. So, do we not need to focus on such topics, and which companies need that? If you can name one or two.
Yeah. For VLSI, companies are Espressif is one of the companies. Then Cadence is there. Again, yeah, there are two more companies. I think I've just forgot the name. But yeah, to answer your questions, what you can do if you want, there are two things. Like first, you want to learn about VLSI, and second is just for the sake of the interview. So to learn VLSI, there are, I guess, different video lectures on YouTube that you can follow, and he won't ask you specific about any topics or any related to the project, related to the software. But for example, if you have done some project based on VLSI and you have mentioned it in your resume, then he will start to ask you questions on that stream. That's one part. And for the sake of interview, he won't directly ask you anything, or like he won't start with the VLSI or analog VLSI or simply other things, unless like from my experience I can say, unless you put it in your resume, he won't ask question related to that.
Okay, thank you. And it goes same with the FPGA, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I think there are no more questions from the participants. So at the end, I would like to thank Pranavda for your valuable time for our guide for this today's placement talk, and I really appreciate your explanation. You explained all the points in very simple manner. I hope all the participants got the point and they will start working on that today itself. So again, I thank you for your valuable time, and I declare that the today's session is officially over.
Yeah, thank you everyone, thank you for joining.
Yes, thank you everyone.